better than this? I don't think so.
Oh my love, you're such a fragile thing, I know. And with the winter comes the ice, the snow, but I'm here at all. And oh my love, don't worry about the cold just yet. The trees haven't started to shed. Just feel the summer sun as it warms our bed. I'm lying, and I'm lying when I say I'm not afraid, but I'm trying to shelter you from pain. And oh my love, the seasons come and they go, but I hope you know that I won't.
That is our destination over there, the Pawnee Buttes, or Stuart keeps referring to them, no matter how many times I tell him.
The butts.
The Pawnee Butts. How many miles do you think we've hiked?
Probably
5 or 6? That's how it feels. Stuart cooked us an amazing dinner, and now I am going up to this spot that I've picked out literally since the day that we got here. I'm gonna do some yoga, and Stuart's coming with me, not to do yoga, but because I'm the only one that has service, and so I've been hotspotting my phone for him, and he doesn't want to lose service, so he's gonna come sit up here while I do yoga. But the sun is setting, I've got the perfect spot picked out. Does it get any better than this? I don't think so. We decided to take a little bit of an evening hike. The other day when we went hiking, hindsight 2020, we probably should have planned to go either early morning or late or early evening because it was very hot and very dry, but I guess some things you learn the hard way. And we made it to one of the buttes, didn't go all the way to the second one. And I don't know if we're gonna make it to the second one today either, but we're enjoying the cooler temperatures that come with the sun going down. Today it got up into the 90s and it was as dry humidity wise as it was hot, which was interesting to see. Yeah, 91 degrees and 19% humidity, so definitely a very arid climate, but we're making the most of the evening and stretching our legs a little bit and checking out the great outdoors. Yesterday, or a few days ago, we were at the base of that butte way over there, drinking water and eating pistachios. And now we're at the base of the second butte, drinking water, and we got here just in time for the sunset. I decided to wake up early and watch the sunrise. We've seen so many beautiful sunsets being here. We haven't watched a sunrise yet because the sunrise is really early in mountain time and we usually aren't awake at 5 a.m. to see it. So I decided to make an exception and do that today. We've been boondocking here in the Pawnee National Grasslands for a week today now, and given that this has been the first time that we've ever seriously boondocked, been completely off-grid, sustaining ourselves, I think Stuart and I are patting ourselves on the back a little bit because it's gone really, really well, and all of the measures and things that we did to prepare ourselves to be able to do this have all paid off. We're probably going to stay here for maybe another couple of days max. It took us a week to go through our 50-gallon freshwater tank in the RV, and then we had 25 extra gallons in the jugs that we also got. So we've been putting that into our freshwater tank as well. And with that water, and based off of what we know about our usage, we figure we can go maybe a couple more days, and then we're going to be leaving. So we're going to be heading out from here. The one thing that I think is super different here that I didn't really know how I would handle is just the climate. It's very, very arid and dry. Right now it's 91 degrees with 22% humidity, which is the lowest humidity I think I've ever been in, except like during the winter time. And that's great. It makes it to where you're not sitting sweating, but the heat is still pretty intense, and I think that we're curious to see how we would handle being in heat like this. We've learned a lot, and I think we're going to be trying to find some higher elevation, even though as time progresses we're going to have to push further east where it's going to be a little bit warmer, but it's all good. We're just taking this thing in stride, going kind of wherever the wind blows us. If we decide to stop somewhere, we stop. If we decide to go somewhere, we go. It's been a really cool experience, and I just wanted to add that in here really, really quick because everything that we've done to prepare for this, everything that we've wanted to do has worked out, and there are a lot of pros to this. The barrier to entry is a little steep sometimes, but if you can get past that, it's pretty freaking fantastic. So this morning we ended up putting the last of the fresh water into our tank, which means that it's time to leave the Pawnee National Grasslands and head off to our next destination and replenish on the way. But honestly, even if we weren't out of water yet, I think we would probably be looking to leave, just because the first half a week that we were here, and we've been here for about a week and a half now, the weather was really, really good. It was perfect. But this last week, it's honestly been pretty tough. Today it was well into the hundreds with the heat index, and it's been like that consecutively building over the last week. It was honestly miserable, and it's completely sapped both Stuart and I of any energy to do anything. I think we're ready to push further northwest and hopefully gain some elevation and some cooler temperatures, so that's the plan. But being here at the Pawnee National Grasslands was such a cool experience. If you're ever in the area, I highly recommend that you come and check it out. It's such a cool place. I've never been in a highland environment and highland ecosystem like this. It's very arid and desert-like. It's beautiful. It's very unique. I'm really glad that we took the opportunity to come here. And even though it's definitely time to go, I can add this to my list of favorite places that I've been, which is pretty cool too. Being out here has been such an incredible experience, and I have not been able to escape the thought that if I had allowed fear to be the thing that dictated my actions, I don't know where I would be right now, but I definitely would not be on a prairie highland at sunset. And fear is an understandable reaction in people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's acceptable. And that's something that I've been thinking about a lot since we've been out here, because I feel like we live in a society right now where people are allowing their actions to be dictated by fear. And I think it's fear of two things. It's a fear of death, and it's a fear of the unknown and change. But the juxtaposition of it all is that is the essence of what life is. Life is death and change, and you can't escape either of those two things. Otherwise, you run the risk of just running yourself ragged and missing out on a lot of opportunity in the long run. I've made a real effort in my young adult life to push myself past my fears and my discomfort and insecurities and challenge myself, because I found that that is where the real growth and development comes from. We cannot let fear be the dictator of our actions. There is nothing in this life that is 100% for sure. All that we can do is try to be as present as we possibly can be, have positive interactions, act out of love, and try to leave the spaces that we occupy better than when we found them. That is a big ticket to try to fill, and I recognize that, but I truly believe that that is the answer. And I know that that sounds very hippy-dippy, but a lot of the seers and sages of the ages, whether it be Jesus Christ or the Buddha or Alan Watts or whoever you want to listen to, have all said the same thing, that love is the answer, that death is for sure. And so all that we can do is live this life as positively as we can and try to leave it better than the way that we found it. That is what I have been sitting with since we've been here. And even though that seems like a really heavy thing to sit with, I've honestly found a lot of peace in it, because it's honestly very, very simple when you break it down. I wish that everybody as a collective, our society as a collective, could just be given a little kick in the pants and forced past their fears and insecurities, because if everybody could step past that, I think our world would be a much better place. That's very wishful thinking on my part, but we can start with ourselves, and that's what I've been trying to do with myself. And even though we're out here in the middle of nowhere, just Stuart and I and our 2 dogs, in a way I've felt like I've been able to do that, because I've been able to reconnect with myself and kind of recenter myself, which was the whole point of coming out here. And I feel like I've begun to be able to do that, which is pretty cool. I think I'll probably have more thoughts on this later on. Everything's really been percolating. When there's lots of open space, nobody around, and very limited cell phone service, gives you a lot of time to think. And I think I'm going to have more to say on this later, but that's where I'm going to leave it for now. So thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.